What is up, YouTube? Thanks for joining me here on my channel again. Steven Sturgill. I'll be your host for the next few minutes. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet today. It's been a while since I have posted and just decided spur of the moment to go live. So, hello, everybody out there. If you're still up and awake, hope you're doing fine, smelling good, looking good, accomplishing good things. We've all, if you're in the frat community, even for a little while, there's probably not a single person left on the planet nearly that doesn't know about the house of Yves Saint Laurent. And so the house of YSL, with their Homme or L'Homme series, and in particular all of that, along with the La Nuit stuff and all the flankers. And we could debate until the cows come home how most of the flankers were not nearly as good as the main bodied fragrances that they were built loosely upon, or in some cases more strongly upon. But having said that, as I've gotten more and more into niche and luxe fragrances to a point, the debate is on, the mental debate is on whether EDTs, if I should leave behind forever EDTs and just go straight eau de parfum concentrations, or should I still keep EDTs in my arsenal and simply use eau de parfum concentrations for special occasions, things like that? Because there is the debate on the one hand, are we getting as good a product on the EDTs in terms of longevity and sillage and even aroma for that matter? And then, of course, there's the flip side argument, sort of, where if you buy an eau de parfum concentration, you're spending a premium, but often, not in all cases, certainly, but a lot of the houses, they give you a much, much tinier bottle, claiming like, oh, it's going to last 3 times as long, twice as long, it's going to smell even stronger. And we know, guys, if you're at all active in FratCom, that's simply not true. There's a lot of perfumes that frankly do not even smell as strong as the eau de toilette or eau de cologne concentrations, and don't have as much pizzazz or sexy sensuality or sizzle to the nose on the frag. And it's highly, highly debatable, highly contested. So with that massive preamble that I hope I bore you to death with, I decided to finally get my nose on this guy, pulled the trigger, got a whole bottle. Now, I was a massive, massive fan of La Nuit de l'Homme, Yves Saint Laurent, going back, to when it initially pretty much dropped. And then I didn't go through many of the flankers, but I went through the Pour l'Homme, I went through the La Nuit, I went through Libre, and also Intense. I went through those. I didn't much get into the Eau Electrique and all that other stuff. Most of those, to be quite honest, were never nearly as good as these guys were. So that's just, I'm not trying to throw shade to people out there who love those really almost like flankers to a flanker in a way. But those were never my cups of tea, and I'm just absolutely not impressed with those. Like, what was it? Well, Frozen is one of them. Nah, that's not feeling you, Frozen. Sorry, YSL. But this one, it's a mixed bag. What I mean by that, if you go online, you look at any of the vlogs or look at Fragrantica or Base Notes, there's protractors, detractors, there's haters, there's lovers, there's in between, there's neutral, like the Swiss, that we are neutral. We are neutral in everything. Just kidding. Sorry, Switzerland. I'm not trying to. Okay, at any rate. It is, on the one hand, unique and distinct from the EDT or the toilette concentration, and on the other hand, it's not as sexy. And so let's get into it. What's going on with this fragrance? It is very interesting, though, and I'm not poo-pooing it altogether. But let's talk about. Let's see. I seem to have lost my page. What else is new? There you are. Okay. Okay, this dropped in 2010, and which I think is maybe a year after the original EDT. I could be wrong on that. So you get bergamot, anise, pepper in the top notes, and then we get lavender, French labdanum, and fruity notes. And finally, the base, you get vetiver, patchouli, and vanilla. Um, okay, comparisons. I loved, as did most of the whole free world, La Nuit de l'Homme EDT, which is just stunningly spectacular and sexy, sensual, sensuous, inviting, invigorating, masculine, but with a little feminine twist. I find Le Parfum, um, it has a lot of those same traits, but it's far less masculine on the opening, to my nose, at any rate. It's not as overtly sexy, although it is very sensual, but it's sensual in a much more feminine way. It's softer, it's more velvety, it's got more rounded edges. The florals in this, to me, are much more prominent and more realistic than in the La Nuit de l'Homme EDT version. Not getting a whole lot of vanilla here, quite frankly. I'm not saying it's not there, but it's very muted, very ultra soft. Not at all a prominent vanilla. If you're looking for vanilla, you're gonna have to look elsewhere. And there are a lot of fruity notes going on in this. As you get into the base and even the mids, not that there's fruit in the base, but I mean as far as into the dry down, right? I definitely get the bergamot, and I think there's a mix of pear and grape, maybe even a little orange of some sort, maybe a little pear and peach. I think I already said pear. There's, I believe, some peach and some cherry in this as well. So you get all that sort of fruit compote blend there in the mids, and that stays fairly present throughout. I do get the anise and the pepper. What else do we get? We get definitely get the vetiver on the dry down, along with a little hint of patchouli, which just dirties up the fragrance a little bit. Definitely get the anise, although that dies down after about the first 30 to 45 minutes and all but disappears, along with that. Bergamot largely is gone by the second hour. I mean, there's maybe some trace elements of it. And there's definitely still some labdanum going on, along with that fruity mid. And then the vetiver and the vanilla sort of kick in along with that patchouli. And it's a nice, pleasant, unisex type scent, almost leaning more feminine in a weird way. But it doesn't have that kick of the EDT, and it doesn't have that overt sexuality of the EDT. A big shout out to Max 40 on his channel. Who hasn't heard of him by now? He recommended blending, along with a lot of other reviewers and online vloggers, that you blend the EDT with EDP, and you get this incredible lush fullness that has that spicy, more masculine, vibrant kick of the EDT, but you also get some of that soft, more lush on the skin, creating a nice scent bubble. So for you guys out there, if you want to buy both and blend them, that could be a really cool way to go. But unfortunately, guys, this is not at all a must-have, not at all a must-purchase. So while I am disappointed in the frag, it's an interesting addition to the scent line, and I do think, right, wrong, or indifferently, if you blend it with EDT, you probably will end up with a very interesting sort of fragrance experience. It's just sad to think that Yves Saint Laurent, excuse me, would force us to do that. But you could just stick with EDT and case closed, or you could buy the Le Parfum and blend the two. But by itself, the Le Parfum doesn't really do full justice to the original EDT. It just does not bring it. It just doesn't. It's nice. It's soft. It's elegant. It's sophisticated. It's floral. It's a bit feminine. It's a bit more feminine, I should say. It's quite feminine. It's a bit more feminine than the EDT. But I'm going to leave it there at that. And hope I haven't bored you to death. And I hope you agree. But if you don't, we all have our individual noses, and we can feel free to disagree. So that's going to do it. I'm going to sign off, guys. It's been a pleasure. Spray often, spray well. Live life on your terms, not someone else's. Love you guys. Peace out. I'm getting new subscribers every week, so thanks so much for joining my channel. I will see you guys on the next frag. I got some really good stuff coming in. And I don't know if I've done the full vid review yet on the old Womo guy from Hermenegildo Senya. But we'll get to that hopefully in a day or two. Maybe tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Love you.